Prelim finals are usually way better games than grand finals. So over the last decade, we've been treated to some of the greatest matches in AFL history over the prelim final weekend. And I wanted to do a countdown of the 5 best prelim finals, but it's hard to do it. You need someone who's going to be neutral, because I would pick, as a Bulldogs fan, 2016, 2021. Any Collingwood fan would probably pick 2023. Just you name it. So I needed a Carlton fan for the very cruel reason that they haven't won a prelim since.
We haven't won one. We went to one.
You've gone to one, that's right, but it wasn't a great game. You're up by 5 goals. Let's not talk. I don't want to be cruel. You're doing me a favour. Adam Rozenbachs. He is the one of the riders at the front bar, but you'd know him from Sports Reporter on the Cheap Seats, Triple M Breakfast. He's a regular there. But we've worked together for decades now.
Yes.
And you know your footy, and you're going to give a good neutral. Let's give an honourable mention to the greatest prelim final of the 20th century. I wonder which one you'll pick.
Well, of course, it's this one. We weren't supposed to win it. We were down, then we were up, then we were down, then we were back up, and we were up at the end, and it was basically our grand final and the last happy moment that I had as a Carlton supporter. So that was just a mere 26 years ago. So it's been a lot of fun since.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the countdown for real. What is the 5th best prelim final of the 21st century?
So I was watching them back and had a good look over, because you kind of forget, how many good ones there have been over the journey, and particularly because grand finals, like you said, have let us down. But for me, it was unfortunately 2014 with Port Adelaide and Hawthorn.
Why is that unfortunate?
Well, as a Carlton supporter, I don't love Hawthorn.
Dude, you don't have to be a Carlton supporter. Any normal person.
Yeah, that's good to know. And just their levels of success and how often they are up at the top even after a 2-month rebuild like they are at the moment. But this one I was watching it back, it was a fantastic game. They led Port Adelaide early, it was really tight, and then they kind of got away by about 4 goals at the start of the last quarter. And then Port started to claw them back and got to within a kick. And I was so excited that Port Adelaide might roll them because, Hawthorn, they'd won 2013. Yep. They'd already won 2008. They'd had their good times. You were like, yes, let someone else go. Port hadn't won for, 10 years.
Yeah.
And just to see Hawthorn not make it would have been fantastic.
Agreed.
It came really close. There was a contentious free kick given to Hawthorn with about 2 minutes to go.
Now that's Travis Boak gets smothered by Luke Hodge, and he sort of falls on Hodge.
It wasn't Boak that fell on. Another player dragged it on, and Hodge fell on him, and they paid holding the ball. And then with 4 seconds to go, Brian Lake did exactly the same thing. And it should have been a free kick from about 55 out. So it would have been a tough kick to make. But of course, Hawthorn, they go through. Now, a friend of ours, Limo, was at the game.
Yes. Now, were you at the party that I got told by many people?
At Justin Hamilton's?
At Justin Hamilton's house.
Yes,
great comedian, Justin Hamilton. So Michael Chamberlain, your co-host on the Junk Time podcast, great podcast, give it a listen. He came to the party. He came from the game and apparently was quite, humble. Yes. Like, holy shit, dude, I can't believe we won. It's going to be a great game next week. And then 20 minutes later, Limo walks in.
Yeah, so Limo walks in and he knows that I'm going to be there. He knows that I would have been going for Port. And the first thing he does, he walks in the room, doesn't say, happy birthday, Hammer, nothing like that. He just goes, F you, Rosie! I was like, yeah, I deserve that. I really deserve it.
No, you don't deserve it. This is why we hate Hawthorn fans. They don't actually enjoy their team winning. They just take joy in your own suffering. And your team wasn't even playing.
I know. And can I just say, watching back the highlights, it was such a high level of skilled game. Like, you can see why Hawthorn won the 3 in a row. You watch them back and you're like, geez, they played some quick, exciting football. Like, Port did really well to get within a kick. Yeah. So it was a great game, and that's my number 5. Okay.
Number 4.
Now, number 4 was 2019 GWS versus Collingwood. So Collingwood had just come off the, I'm not going to say tragic, but the heartbreaking, if you're a Collingwood fan, loss with the Dom Sheed kick in 2018. And everyone thought that they were going to go back to the grand final. They played GWS. I was at the Empress in North Fitzroy.
I was at the Rose.
Watching this
in
one.
Fitzroy. Two great footy pubs. And it was chockers with Collingwood fans. Yes. And it was brilliant.
And so I was there with Dave Thornton. And I remember, I think the Wallabies had just played. So it was packed for the Wallabies. And then people cleared out from that. And then it was just Collingwood and GWS. And the rain came in about, I reckon, a little bit into the first or second quarter. So it was a really scrappy game. There was nothing in it at halftime. There was only about 5 goals kicked for the whole game. to halftime. And then in the third quarter, GWS just went crazy and kicked, for the game was not much, but 5 goals and got out to about a 5-goal lead.
Yep.
And then the last quarter was just GWS hanging on for dear life. And as Collingwood fans just melted down around us, and anyone who wasn't barracking for Collingwood was going for GWS.
Absolutely.
And it was just on. And for me, as a Carlton supporter, not only did Collingwood lose, really in a close one, but also that was the day that Zach Williams went absolutely berserk. GWS threw him into the midfield. He played one of the best games he's ever played because he was always a running halfback before that. And that's where Carlton went, man, this guy's got something as a midfielder, and we paid him millions and millions of dollars to play in the midfield, and he never played there again when he came to Carlton.
Oh.
We had him as a defender. He was injured, no good there. We kind of play him as a forward, and he kicks maybe 15 to 20 goals a year on about $1 million a year. So it was twofold for me there. Collingwood lost, and we paid well and truly overs for a player who hasn't delivered. So just wins all round.
Something I enjoyed that day is Toby Green was suspended. So the greatest moment in GWS history.
Oh, that's right. He was
on the
standing in
bench.
a race.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. It was an unbelievable game, and just the way that Collingwood are coming back, and watching it back, you just go, geez, the umpires were really anti-Collingwood that day. Like, they just let a lot of stuff go. Like, Brodie Grundy was getting pushed out of rucking contests, and they're just like, play on or whatever.
Fine. You'll be right.
And it was after that one that Collingwood went bonkers with their fire sale. Got rid of Treloar, got rid of Grundy, got rid of Jaden Stevenson, got rid of Tom Phillips. So it was just like a big collapse. It was great.
Number 3.
So number 3 is a bit of a weird one because it wasn't a close game. It's the 2018 prelim final between Melbourne and West Coast. And the reason that I bring it up, and it's okay, Melbourne supporters, because you won a flag 3 years later, so don't hate me for this.
At the same ground.
Yes, exactly. And this one was built on just the hype that was around Melbourne making that prelim.
They beat the Cats in the elimination final and then the Hawks in the semi-final, and it was looking... this was the miracle because 2016, my Dogs, 2017, Tigers, 2018, could the D's break there?
So everyone started to believe, and it was impossible. So I'm going to surprise you here, but Qantas jacked up the flights just a little bit above what they normally cost.
This was one of the first times I remember them
gouging,
not even pretending.
Yes,
like it was usually like maybe $100 more, but it was like to fly to Perth was like $2,000.
It was like, get to the airport, pull your pants down, we're gonna go. And people were flying through Bali. Like, it was actually cheaper to go to Bali and then fly to Perth. Like, people went out of their way to get to this game, and tragically for the Demons, they didn't kick a goal after half-time. I think it was like 68 to maybe 6 at half-time. And it just amused me because that's what pretty much happened to Carlton in 2023 when, we had the hype. We won 2 finals. Everyone was like, it's a juggernaut. They can't lose. We got 5 goals up in a prelim. And then it all fell apart, and it was a long flight home from Brisbane, which was...
Because you went to that.
I did indeed go to that, And even when we kicked the first 5 and people around me, Carlton supporters, are going, we're going to the grand final. I was like, we're not going to the grand final. Brisbane are a really good team, and they proved it. And it was just, it was exciting leading up to it. We went to, this is going to shock you, a place called the Pineapple Hotel in Brisbane. So really well thought out up in Brisbane. They went, hey, what should we call this pub? What's that? That's a pineapple. Let's call it a pineapple. Next to probably the Mango Hotel. Up the road from the Bundy Arms.
The pumpkin scone.
So 2018, just for the laugh factor, don't hate me, Melbourne fans. You got a premiership a couple of years later. It's all okay.
But I hate you for that.
Yeah.
The second best prelim final of the 21st century with my guest Adam Rozenbachs.
Okay, well, this one's a little bit close to your heart. It was the 2016 prelim, GWS versus the Doggies.
Yep.
Up at what was it called back then?
Spotless
Stadium up in Western Sydney.
Up at the Beanstalk.
Yes. Now, I watched this one at the Rose in
I was around the corner at...
Did you not go to the game?
No, my wife was heavily pregnant and was going to pop any day.
Well, that's on you, mate. Why are you having sex in January?
I didn't have the bonk band. Well, Dogs had never even made a grand final in my life at that point. And for those who are interested, my daughter waited till 36 hours after we won the 2016 grand final to be born, and that's why her name is Roughhead Bontempello.
So that one was just it was just an unbelievable game, and just everyone was on board the doggies. It was just, people didn't hate GWS, so you're kind of torn. You were like, well, if either team wins, no one's going to be upset about it. So it was just a really good energy in the pub. But man, when you guys came home and it was just like, the doggies are going to win. And just the level, the pub, I've never seen the pub that packed before in my life.
Yeah.
It was standing room only and people were just going absolutely wild. And I think it was just one of the most feel-good prelims and whole final series of just seeing the doggies, being so close in the early 2000s, not quite getting there. Things had gone a bit rough for you when, people left.
Griffin left to go to GWS. There were so many storylines in there. Tom Boyd was playing for us, even though he
Callum
played
Ward's playing for GWS.
Right. he gets knocked out halfway through. Who was the other? Jordan Roughhead, who grew up a Doggies fan.
Yeah.
He got knocked out. I watched it at the Gasometer, which is not a footy pub, but I'd been there earlier in the year, and I was at the Rose.
Oh, so it was a good luck thing.
It was a good luck thing.
Okay.
And me and my friend agreed we'd never go back to the Gasometer until it was necessary. And I went back that day, and when we realised we would win, I'll put the picture up here, I cried like a child.
Yeah, okay. And then, how quickly after did you savour the win to turn into, how the hell can I get a ticket?
I was fairly confident. That's the beauty of being a Dogs fan.
Yeah. Okay.
It was more like, how many other people do I have to get tickets for?
And were you confident going in? Did you think you would win?
The prelim?
No,
the granny.
Sydney, yeah.
I just remember it was a ball of nerves, and I didn't think it was 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
And it was. I remember saying on the day, I'd never been in a grand final before. I was as nervous as my wedding day, but there's only a 50% chance that she says I do.
But it was a fantastic game. The atmosphere was incredible. I imagine a whole bunch of my mates went up there because it was like, GWS basically had no supporters back then, so almost anyone who was a Doggies fan who travelled got a seat.
Damn straight.
And it was almost a home game.
They ran out of beer at halftime.
Well, that's a disgrace.
Absolutely.
That drops it down. That should drop it down. That's out of the top 10.
Oh, that's why GWS lost. It's karma.
That's pathetic.
And the best prelim this century, what is it, Rosie?
Well, it was last year's. It was Brisbane versus Geelong at the MCG.
What a game.
I was there, and it was. And as a neutral observer, you just go and you're like, I wonder. And I really like the Lions. I live in North Fitzroy, so I'm surrounded by Lions kind of memorabilia and stuff. And I used to go watch Fitzroy because my auntie barracked for them as a kid. So I was kind of like, I've always had a soft spot. When the Lions won 3 in a row, didn't bother me. It was one of the greatest games and just displays of Australian rules football.
Yes.
And you just thought, amazing goals, really great skills.
That third quarter was just miracle goal after miracle
Brian
goal.
Myers put it through, and I think it was one of the Henry brothers put one through, and you kind of went, all right, Geelong, they played really well, and Brisbane had fired a couple of good shots, and you thought maybe they're done. Unfortunately, they'd played 2 really tough games to come back.
That's right. They were behind against GWS.
Yeah, they were down 7 goals against GWS.
And what was the one before that? No, they thumped Carlton. Sorry,
Oh, yes, that's right. We gave them. Well, they had a bye, and then they played.
Yeah.
And then they played GWS.
That's it.
And it was unbelievable. And then there was a point where you just sort of thought, I think Geelong have got this. And then we just saw the unleashing of Will Ashcroft, and then Cam Rayner, I think, stamped himself as a big finals player. And when he kicked that goal from outside 50 on his left, and it was just unbelievable. Like the scenes there, it was one of the best games of football I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It just was incredible to watch.
That's Rosie's list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Chuck in the comments what you think the best prelims are, and listen to Rosie's podcast, Junk Time, he does with Michael Chamberlain. Is that every week?
Every week during footy, and we just did a live show with Travis Cloak, Jordan Lewis, and Dyson Heppel, which was fantastic.
Well, follow them, check out the live shows. Are you doing the 2 guys, 1 cup grand final thing?
Yes, so we'll do that post-grand final day at the Basement Comedy Club in the city.
Sweet. Tickets in a link, potentially.
Probably,
Who knows?
Yeah. Oztix. Go to Oztix.
Yeah, just follow him on socials. There you go. That'll work. Sweet. If you're a footy nerd and you're watching this, I've got some other videos about the origin of some of the rivals, including the Q Clash. The
origins are they're both in Queensland. There you go, done.
Don't spoil it.